Dads are back here in San Bruno, California. We're at Akagi, not Asahi, Akagi.
Akagi.
Off of JC's recommendation for a great bento box lunch. So what's a bento box?
A bento box is, I wouldn't say it's a traditional Japanese lunch setup, but basically it's kind of like it's flanked by rice, and then you kind of choose your protein, and you have soup and salad. So it's basically a lunch plate of sorts.
A 2-item or a 3-item combo.
Yeah.
What do you call in Tagalog again? You told me before where you have rice, but you need, is it ulam?
Ulam, yeah, ulam is
When
like
you have
protein.
other stuff
Yeah,
that just
basically.
goes on the rice,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So like the rice is in the center, obviously, like right here, like in the bento box, the rice is in the center, and all your ulams
Your
are
ulam, your Japanese ulam is right.
Are around it.
Is flanked by the rice. So
No, so a traditional bento box will start with a miso soup, which we scarfed down already because that usually comes first, a salad, and then your 2 or 3 item combo. Now over here you have a choice for the lunch special, different teriyakis, tempuras, katsus, sashimis, or sushis.
Yeah.
And then you choose those items and it all goes together. Now when you I've seen the cutest like Japanese like lunches. If you go to like Japantown, you go to get like a lunch box for your kids, you can actually get like bento box kind of like Japanese inspired lunch boxes that have all the different compartments.
That's dope.
So all the flavors don't just like mess into each other. So like imagine like your picnic plate, but like your picnic plate, like at your barbecue, you appreciate the ones that have the 3 sections in it.
Absolutely.
So you don't have like your watermelon mixed with your chili, right?
Exactly.
You think it's kind of the same idea with the bento box?
Yeah, they kind of sectionalize the food so that you can kind of, not get it all intermixed. And I don't know, it's just a nice little kind of clean lunch setup instead of like, Filipino style where we Filipinos just have a plate or banana leaf even, just pop the rice and then you just have the ulams just all over each other. But Japanese roll differently.
The dad joke is like, oh, it all comes out the same place anyways, right? Yeah. But so you don't mind, but you go to like a like Panda Express and you get like the bowl. Yeah. All the things just kind of mix into each other anyways, right?
Exactly. So different cultures, different lanes, how they want to do this, but really classic lunch place. And have you been here before?
I've never been here before. I've had bento boxes before, plenty in my lifetime, but not here. And I'm surprised because I train at the UFC gym just down on the same block.
Exactly. And for me, I've been going here for 30 years, since the mid-90s.
Wow.
And it's always been sort of like a hidden gem, in my opinion. And people can comment and say what they have to say.
Same
about
owners?
it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it, but I know that at least the servers were consistently here. Like they would recognize people over the years. So I'm excited for you to try it, man. I want to see.
One thing, like when we had our orders taken, it's always a good look when it's authentically Japanese. When you have like a ESL, when you have English as a second language by the server, and he's like Japanese, then you know it's gonna be a legit spot, right?
Yeah, I hear him busting out Japanese back in the sushi in the back, and like they really are dropping Japanese, man. So,
I heard that San Francisco Japantown is mainly owned by Korean.
I'm not surprised, man. I'm not surprised, And
Koreans taking over with the K-pop.
They are taking over.
In the movies, and the Squid Games.
The food, pop culture in general. But we're doing Japanese today, man, and I'm really excited for you to try it because I love this place.
All right.
And I know you've had your share of Japanese bento box places, so let's give it a shot.
So my choices today, the salad standard, right? It probably has like some kind of like sweet like sesame style dressing, and it's usually pretty simple. They use like an iceberg lettuce, some carrot shavings, and then like that sweet sesame style dressing. Yep.
So what were the items that you got?
I got the pork tonkatsu. So it's a pork
Cutlet.
like tenderloin, like a cutlet, and then they use like an egg batter, and then they dip it in panko flakes, and then they fry it to golden brown. Same way you make like a chicken katsu. and then the tempura. So when you get tempura and in like a bento box, it usually has like shrimp and veggies. So they were generous over here. Two shrimps. It looks like a zucchini maybe.
Yeah, zucchini.
And then a carrot or a sweet potato.
Yeah.
And a carrot or a sweet potato. Sometimes you can't tell just by the outside. And then your broccoli.
Your broccoli. There you go.
And then lastly, I got the tuna sashimi, or for the native speaker, sashimi.
Sashimi.
Right? Sashimi. And that's going to make my meal today. Oh, and then for the tempura, you got your tempura dipping sauce here. What do you got, JC?
For me, I got some chicken katsu. So same kind of cutlet, but instead of pork, it has chicken. So tonkatsu is pork. I got some salmon teriyaki.
Ooh, nice.
So grilled salmon with teriyaki sauce glazed over that, and then I also have some teriyaki short ribs, which is my favorite here.
You know, it's interesting because 2 out of the 3 items, I feel like I almost had it for the first time at like a Hawaiian drive-in or like an L&L barbecue. The chicken katsu is like a standard for like a Hawaiian drive-in when we go.
Yep.
And the short ribs.
Yeah. So the execution is a little bit different, obviously, with the teriyaki sauce, but we'll give it a try and see how it goes, man. So let's dig in.
Cheers.
What are you starting with?
The pork tonkatsu.
Tonkatsu. I'm gonna start with the short ribs.
That's good.
I don't know what necessitates a good pork tonkatsu, but for me, if it's not overly dry, it's always a good thing, right?
I just don't want it thick in the middle. I don't want any pork sashimi.
Nope. Want none of that.
You know, for a katsu, for chicken katsu or pork tonkatsu, you don't want to fry it too long because you can see it when when it's not golden brown and it's brown, then it's overcooked, right? Or the oil is too hot when you're frying it, then it fries the panko crust too fast, and then it's unevenly cooked, right? But you said you've been coming here for 30 years.
Yep,
they got it down to perfection.
I've been going here with my family for 30 years. Always see a lot of just the locals. Once you drop Akagi, they're like, oh yeah, that's a spot. You know what I mean? They're very, very generous with their servings. I don't know how it compares to your experiences with some of the other bento spots, but I always feel satisfied after I go here, man.
Oh, you got a little hidden Japanese pickle underneath the rice. Nice little touch there.
So for me, a good katsu, outside of how the panko battered cutlet is cooked, is some good katsu sauce.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes some katsu sauce is overly sour, like too vinegary. Sometimes it's overly sweet. I like this leans on the sweet side, but I kind of really like how they do their katsu sauce, man.
I think it's like this is a guess, and I feel like a katsu sauce. You know, the Hawaiian way for the katsu sauce, I feel like it's soy sauce, and people say this a different way. Worcestershire. You know Worcestershire?
Yep.
Yeah. Some people say the Worcestershire. Some people, I think the proper way, I had to YouTube it one time. Worcestershire.
Worcestershire, okay.
Or you can say like Leon Perrins. Leon Perrins. But I think that's the base of a katsu sauce for Hawaiian style. For this style, they probably add some sugar to it. You know, and a lot of times when you're tasting the sugar in Japanese foods, I think they use mirin. I think mirin is a rice vinegar, right?
And they smother it in the katsu sauce.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to have like a side of katsu sauce. I feel like I'm fairly satisfied with it. You want to try the chicken?
Yeah, take a pork one.
Yeah, I'll take a pork one. See the difference.
The batter is identical, which is expected. The sauce is identical. You know, the chicken itself is more tender than
Absolutely.
a tonkatsu.
That's the right word, definitely. I feel like your bite pressure is you need less bite pressure, I guess.
It's an easier chew for a chicken versus a pork. But you think about the difference between a pork chop and a chicken breast, right?
Yeah.
A pork chop's always gonna be a little bit tougher.
So, since I'm a huge katsu guy, sometimes when I get a 3-item here, I order both the pork tonkatsu and then the chicken katsu just to
Double
get my
katsu.
katsu fixed.
Nice.
And I can get both. I can get, the pork flavor and then that chicken tenderness. Let's give the tempura a shot. See what you said.
Starting with the broccoli, so I get some veggies in me, so I feel a little better about myself.
That salad is untouched. You went straight to the protein.
It's great. You know what? I like tempura when it's not too oily and not too much batter either.
It's a good batter to
And
base ratio.
from what I've heard before, also in frying, to get a batter lighter, it's I've heard people use like a carbonated, like a sparkling water to get the air bubbles in the batter to be a lighter batter. One of my buddies out here, he has a malasada company, Ocean Malasada. Have you had Ocean Malasada?
I haven't had Ocean Malasada.
It's and the secret, now I'm just gonna tell everyone, is to use a sparkling water to get the batter bubblier, to get it lighter, right? So they must do that for the katsu also. Hey, you want to eat one of the shrimp ones? Help yourself, please.
Okay.
This one's you right here.
Go ahead. All right. Try the shrimp.
Hey, have you always known how to use chopsticks in the Philippines? Did you learn in the Philippines before
Not
here?
really, dude. We're either hands or spoon and fork kind of spot. So only here in the U.S. have I learned how to use chopsticks.
That's good. You know, it actually is a little bit heavier on the batter.
Yeah.
For a shrimp, it's a little heavy. It's good.
How's the sauce?
Solid. Yeah. Sorry, I'm double.
Sometimes.
I'm double dipping here.
Yeah, no worries. Sometimes with the sauce, there could be like overly watery tempura sauce. I like to get a little bit of flavor to complement my tempura. So.
You know, too much tempura can be like a little bit heavy too.
Yeah.
That's why it's nice, the beauty of the bento box, right? If you had like a tempura meal, it would have been pretty heavy.
Absolutely. And like what you said with the bento box, I think what I like the most about it is the variety that you can get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not stuck with one ulam, right? You can kind of mix and match. If you're feeling a little hungry that particular day, you can go really heavy on the protein. You know? Want to mix it up, get some salmon like I did, you know, with some of the chicken or the red meat, and then, you know, get some short rib action.
You know, when you eat sushi, do you use wasabi? You like wasabi?
No, I'm actually not a wasabi.
Oh, you're anti wasabi. You know, on most like sushi pieces when you order at the restaurant, they'll put like a tiny dab of wasabi when they're putting it together, and then so it kind of creeps up on you if you're not into it. When I get sashimi, I mix the wasabi with the soy sauce, and then I have it over my bowl of rice. So instead of the sushi made for you already, having sashimi, you mix it with your rice, and then you choose your fish portion yourself.
I see.
Nice tender tuna sashimi. You know, for a good sashimi or good sushi, you can almost tell right off the bat if it's fresh or not. The fishier it tastes, the longer it's been sitting. You know what I mean? Of course you want the seafood to taste like it's from the ocean. Mm-hmm. You don't want it to be bland. You want it to have the flavor. But especially for like a tuna or a salmon, you almost know immediately.
You don't want to be overly fishy.
Yeah, yeah. You can tell by the smell. You know, sometimes it's deceiving too because when you're getting at a restaurant, you can't see the packaging or where it came from. Usually it's through like a wholesale distributor. But some places, like when you go to like Safeway and you buy like salmon or tuna, they'll say color added for freshness, right? So some places, even at salmon at Costco or something, you'll see they'll have to state on the packaging if like pink coloring was added to make it look fresher. But this is great. Actually, this tuna is better than I thought it'd be.
And you know, it's a lunch spot. It's not like a specialty sushi restaurant. So
yeah, we're not at Morimoto's.
Yeah, exactly,
in
right.
New York City.
So you kind of just have to kind of pick and choose. With that said, if you're in for a quick lunch, a nice little bento spot, this is one of my go-tos.
There's this YouTube guy that I watched. It was a previous Iron Chef in Canada with his son, and his son does a taste test with his dad on like, is this sashimi like fresh from Japan, or did he pick it up at the gas station? You know, at the local gas station. Delicious.
Good. Should try the short ribs.
I'd be glad to. Thank you.
Nice and fatties, so a little bit of detail. You can see the short rib over there, smothered in teriyaki sauce.
You know, one of the beauties of, first of all, short ribs are very expensive to buy yourself at the market. It's almost cheaper, like when you get it sometimes at a restaurant because they're buying it in bulk, right? But when you barbecue short ribs yourself, it's probably one of the most forgiving meats because you can undercook it and it'd be more on the rare side.
Yeah.
Still delicious, still tender. You can overcook it, and because it's a ribeye and it's a good cut of meat with a good fat content in it, it's still going to be pretty tender, and you might get even like a little bit of a crisp on it, which is
Not
preferred by
bad.
some. Yeah, so
Exactly.
definitely one of the most forgiving meats. Good smokiness on it too.
Yeah. Teriyaki flavors, nice little sauce to go with it.
And they cooked it just right. A little bit of pink in the middle there. It's a medium-ish, medium rare. That's the way it should be. You know, one of my pet peeves, I'm not gonna call anyone out, say who does this or not, but you can't leave meat on the bone. For chicken wings, and especially for short ribs, for these short ribs that are damn expensive, even compared to a chicken wing, you have to get all the meat and cartilage and everything right off the edge of the bone there.
That's how we do it, man.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, don't order it.
Yeah.
Not clean it.
Yeah.
Right off the bone. And it comes off easy off the bone.
It's really good. Good quality.
I love going to Akagi because it's such a local spot. I remember going here, 20 years ago. Maybe there was a server that started here maybe 20 years ago, not 30 years ago, right? And then he was a server here a waiter here for about 10 years. And every time he would see us, he would recognize our faces, say hello, check in, say what's up. So it doesn't have a very sort of, it has sort of a local community kind of feel to it. And I don't know, it's just one of those places that's just a nice, trusted, consistent place where you can get what you want, what you expect every time.
That makes a good restaurant, man. When you have like the owners, the waiters and waitresses really value each patron and call you out, whether it's by your name or not, but they recognize you and say, hey, or like you look at the success of even like a Starbucks, right? When they know people's drink before they even place their order, that goes a long way.
They even remember the kids. Once we bring the kids here, they'll say, "Oh, you were this small, and then they're bigger now." So
Yeah. So shout out to them, Akagi. Great spot, great local spot, great authentic spot, and good value here.
Yeah.
What's it end up being, like $17?
Yeah.
For a 3-item combo, right?
Yeah, pretty much $17, which is not bad, man.
Yeah, because a 2-item combo would have been like $15 and a quarter. So for $1.75, it's a no-brainer
Extra protein,
to add
absolutely.
extra protein, right?
And we're mowing through it. I'm pretty satisfied every time I go here. So
Great lunch, great suggestion today,
Yeah.
and hope you guys check it out.
peace.
See ya, Dad's out.